zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, zero unemployment. These are the three kind of a description of a future civilization that we can build. Each individual has the capacity not only to take care of himself or herself, take care of the whole world. That's what the human being is all about. But because of the way we taught ourselves, we look at them differently. And as a result, this is what happens. So I wanted to find out where we did the wrong things for which they have to suffer. We are the guilty people. So we want to correct the system, correct the situation. We have to correct the system. So it's not something that you do with the person, you do with the people who are building the system. Because that's what they went wrong, created the wrong world. Ever since, I was questioning the system so that I can make it straight, which worked for them. So that's the story that my life, chapter after chapter, is built. And I was trying to communicate with people that, look, this is the right one. Or one of the right ones. You may have 101 of them yourself. But definitely not the one that we promote to our conventional learning process. So that's the story. I'll stop here and then wait for your question. Thank you. First of all, it's not just the UN. I think the world as a whole is in a big crisis. And UN has demonstrated in its 80th year that it's incapable of handling that. So that's the crisis. We have no institution who can handle the crisis that we have created ourselves. We have to reinvent institutions and we look at things so that we come to the right way of pursuing our life and how we design our society and the world itself. So I would say that this 80th birthday of a great institution, United Nations, is a time for big waking up call for all of us. I particularly tell the young people, look, you are the young people, young generation, it's a new generation. But you are not the same young generation of previous generations. You are completely different. We call you young people, but actually you are not quite human being. You are superhuman being. You don't realize it, but that's where you are. No other generation in human history, young generation, was as powerful as you are. And I repeat that 1,000 times. I believe in it. So you look like human being, but you are way different than human being that we used to know about. Not because you are smarter than other generations of young people. One particular thing makes you super powerful. Technology. You are not the same young people ever born in this planet. So by looking at each other and reading stuff written before, you start thinking that you are same old young people. You are not. First realize that you are not, because by conversations with your parents, with your sisters, about brothers, or your siblings, you still behave like previous generations of young people. And you forget that you are different. You never probably realize that you are different. I think you're really genie, but look like human being. You have the power. And if you feel that you're a genie, suddenly you realize that you can do anything you want. You have that power. No other generation had that power. Because we treat them just like another generation. Same school, same agenda, same teaching materials. But they are different. So this is what the global thing is all about. Mismatch. The young generation is so different. We are treating them just like other generation. So we are having genie in our hand, but treating them as human babies, human young people. So the sooner we realize and they start realizing, the moment they start realizing, disturbances happen.
So should we, older generation, just get out of the way and let them do their...
Maybe, because older generation didn't do a good job.
Yes.
Because we build an economy who thrives in selling things to you. As a result, we create the world that we have. This is just one example. You go any door, any direction, this is what happens. So we have to build a civilization which is not a waste-creating civilization, which is not something destroying the environment situation. That's the kind of thing, a new civilization. And I have been trying to, people say, what kind of civilization would that be? I try to put a kind of package, so this would be a civilization of 3 zeros. It would be 3-0 civilization. It's a kind of a shortcut to description of the new civilization. 0 carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration. If nothing else is killing us, wealth concentration will kill everything. The way all the wealth goes to the top and in the hands of few people, leaving the bottom empty. We have no path. This is for survival. Every year is getting more to the top than to the bottom. We have created an economic system which accumulation to the top is the rule. Whether it was supposed to be the other way. We create wealth, but we create wealth which goes to the right places where people have less wealth. We'll say economics doesn't say that way. I said economics is designed wrong way. That's why in the beginning I said poverty is not created by the poor people. Poverty is created by the system. So until we create that, change that system, poverty will remain no matter what you do. And one of the features is this wealth concentration. You create wealth, you sweat for it, but the wealth goes to somebody else. So we have to redesign that system. Wealth remains where it is created. Wealth remains in the hands of the people who create that wealth. Not set by some mechanism that you artificially created, it gets shifted to somebody else. So that's the kind of thing. So we 0 net carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration, 0 unemployment. These are the 3 kind of a description of a future civilization that we can build. And people say, how do we do that? They say, it doesn't match anything. I said, I know that. So what do I do? I go back to the young people because they are the ones who will save this planet, because they are not contaminated by all the bad things already happening around them. I asked them to create 30 clubs. At the beginning, I said, oh, people, young people, will not pay any attention to this. They have more fascinating thing to do for their life. I was surprised. Young people started responding. Simple idea. So you take 5 young people together, your friends, 4 other friends for yourself. By young, I describe them by saying it should be between 12-year-old to 35-year-old. That's what the youth is all about. So this is just artificially cutting, kind of draw the line. If you're 36, somebody says, I'm 36, what do I do? I said, you become supporter of a 30 club. You cannot be a member of the 30 club, but you can support one, help them so that they're successful. And the responsibility of the members of the 30 club is my own design. It's not something you can go dig up somewhere. I said, oh, if you declare yourself that if I'm using something which creates emissions, and I'm using it 7 days a week, first attempt for me as a 30 club member, I'll make sure one day in a week I will be carbon free. I will not contribute to emissions. Find out how you create those emissions. Because all these problems are created not by some creator somewhere. We create these problems ourselves. So it's not by some degree that it disappear, okay? It doesn't disappear like that. I have to make it disappear because I create that. I have to take the responsibility. So if you do it 7 days a week, promise yourself you'll do it 6 days a week. One day you will not create that. And then you'll make it 6 days a week, 5 days a week, and finally 0 days a week. You will not contribute to carbon emissions. So you become a carbon-free person. And if you are contributing to the wealth concentration by the work we do, you follow the same rule. Gradually, you become a 30 person. You cannot create a 30 world without you being the 30 person. So make a beginning for yourself. So I try to explain to young people. They respond. They said, we created 5 30 clubs in our school. We have created 30 clubs here in this city. So I said, why don't you get interconnected? So you use technology so that they can collect each other. Now, many countries, 30 clubs coming. I hope find some hope that yes, they're paying attention to it. I said, what are you doing actually? You should have to share. You know, that technology comes in. Technology makes things easy for each other. So they have their website, they have their apps, they have everything. So to see that this is what I'm doing. I said, we have to change ourselves before we change the world outside. This is the beginning for us. So this is one way. I'm not saying this is the only solution. I say this is a solution in desperation. I have no other idea. Okay, this is another one idea you can try. But you can come out with a smarter idea than this. They will, sooner or later, because if you go on practicing that, this is what direction you will go.
You are at the leader of a political process as well, at a very real level. And you are headed toward an election that will clearly spell out the future governance of the country. At a realistic level, what do you expect to take place during the elections and post-elections?
First of all, it's not what I expect, what these young people expected. Because they are the root of all this happening in Bangladesh. Again, the young generation, very fascinating. Suddenly, they rebelled. Suddenly. There was no organization, there's no campaign, there's no newspaper, there's no television show, organization, nothing happened. One day they say, enough is enough. Everybody joined. Who had the pipe of this big piper to playing music and everybody's coming? Piper of Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody knew. But they are all on the street. Their voice is, enough is enough. And they declared, this is the last day for you. Everybody's in the street. You should see these videos. Everybody has video, the cameras. Everybody's taking pictures. Have you ever thought a revolution being fought with the handset? Everybody's looking at each other, taking pictures. And so you have well-documented revolution taking place right in front of your eyes. And they get shot. They get killed. Your friend just got killed. You started together. He's there. You're carrying his dead body still in the street. One 12-year-old young guy wrote a beautiful letter to the mother. Mother, I'm going. You'll be very unhappy because you wanted to stop me going to these processions in the street, demonstration in the street, but I can't sit home. My friends are fighting for the country. I don't want to be somebody who has not participated in it. So I apologize to you. I may not come back. Forgive me. Young guy writing such a touching letter to the mother and left it on the table. He never came back. So those kind of stories after stories, hundreds and thousands of stories like that, suddenly happen. All happened between July and 5th of August. That's it. So this is the way they respond. They suddenly wake up. It happened. And I was invited. I was not even in the country. Out of nowhere, they said, you have to come. We have to form a government. So that's how I got into it. I'm not the person that's involved in mobilizing anything. So what I'm trying to do, and all my colleagues are trying to do, see the vision, the dream they had while they're giving their lives. We can at least create a little environment for this to achieve, so that they are the people who gave us the instructions what kind of world they want, and we are trying to see if we can fit into it. It's a tough job. It's not an easy job. But it's the dream of the people, young people, to carry out, building up a world for them, and they call it New Bangladesh. We have to create a new Bangladesh for them. And in the beginning, while we were forming the cabinet, we took them into the cabinet, 3 of them into the cabinet, and people were surprised by these young people. So they freed the country, they liberated the country. So they're good enough for doing that, they're good enough to run the country. So this is how, we are here in, right now in the UN General Assembly. 2 of them came. I don't know if anyone here today. No. Yeah, okay, right here. Both of them are here. Come on. Come on the stage. Come on. My God. So they are the persons. Come on. Okay, fantastic. Wow. So these are the guys fighting on the street. Look at that. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's give a big applause for them. When it's all over, you can come and talk to them, see why they did it, what's their dream, how to make it happen. Please go ahead. Thank you. So that's our job, to see that this is something, whether they'll succeed, whether they'll fail, we don't know. Whether it will happen, can the new Bangladesh will be a reality. As long as these young people will be there, they'll come back to it. You can't get rid of them. So it's their dream. It It may fail in the first chance, it may fail in the second chance. That way they will make it happen. Because it came from them, out of them. It's not somebody, some teacher said or some book says, nothing. They felt it, they don't want this the way it is happening. They want a new Bangladesh. So this is the direction. So we are given the task of the reform agenda, reform the system, reform the rules, the laws, institutions, and so on. So this is one of the agenda item. Second agenda is a trial of those people who ordered killings and stealing money from the country. Literally, they just took all the assets of the country, shifted away from other countries and so on. So catch them, punish them, it's a legal procedure. And the third one is election. So now we are coming closer to the election, and we have announced the date for the election. It's in February, first half of February next year. So we'll have the election, so we'll have an elected government. Students who are fighting on the street, they also formed a political party. Both of them belong to the political party. They are the leaders of the political party, so they created the party. So let's hope for the best. See, wish them well. See how it goes.